Sorry, prep 3. Today we review our geometry. Talk about geometry second term in this year 2026. Pay attention with me about all questions, okay? First question here is the number of circles which pass through three non-collinear points. Three non-collinear points like this. We have 1, 2, 3, three non-collinear. It's meaning triangle. If we join 3 points, we have triangle. He asked about how many circles pass through the vertices of triangle. We have 1 circle. Then the number of circles which pass through 3 non-collinear points equal 1. Choose letter B. Next question. Number 2. In the opposite figure, we won't find measure of angle D. Look here. We have cycle quadral. ABCD cycle quadral, because all vertices lies on the circle. Give me measure of angle B 60, then measure of angle D will be 120, because measure of angle D plus measure of angle B equal 180. We call this supplementary angle. D and B supplementary angles. Since D supplementary angle B, the result will be here. The result will be 120 degree. Measure of angle D equal 120 degree. Choose letter A. Next question. Measure of arc which represents sixes of the measure of circle equal. We know the measure of circle is 360. 6 is product by 360 equivalent to 60 degrees. Then the measure will be 60 degrees. The measure of the arc which represents 6 is the measure of the circle. It will be 1 over 6 product by 360. The result will be 60 degrees. Choose letter A. The opposite figure here we have circle. Look at here the circle. Won't find the length of AB. Look at here, AB. We have two chords in the circle, CD and BA, two chords, and the distance between together equivalent. MY equivalent to MX, and also MY perpendicular to CD and MX perpendicular to BA. Then the length of CD equivalent to the length of BA. They are equivalent. We know Y is the midpoint here. Then CD twice 4 centimeter. It will be 8 centimeter. So BA equivalent to CD equal 8 centimeter also. Length of AB equal 8 centimeter. Choose letter D here. Next question. If M and N are two circles touching each other externally, the length of the other radii 4 centimeter and 2 centimeter. In this example, he won't find the length between two centers of circle. Two circles. They are tangent here internally or externally. Externally, yeah, externally. Touching externally like this. In the length of radius 1 and radius 2, we can collect together to find the length between M and N. We have M and N. Radii, we have 4 and 2 centimeters. And the distance between M and N will be 6 centimeters because they are touching externally. Choose letter C. Next question number 6. We have here two tangents of circles. Then they are equivalent. AB will be equal to AC. They are equivalent. Then 5 equal x subtract by 3. Then the value of x will be equal 8 centimeter. Next example here, number 7. The measure of a scripted angle. He asked about scripted angle space equivalent to the measure of the center of the angle. We have relation between scripted angle and central angle like this. This angle we call this central angle because the vertex lies in the center of the circle, and in scripted angle like this, vertex lies on the circle. Then the measure of inscripted angle half the measure of central angle. We have relation between together like this example. If we have here 100 degree, the measure of central angles in the measure of inscripted angle will be 50 degree. So we have relation between the measure of the inscripted angle and the measure of central angle stand by the same arc. Then the relation will be half. Okay, right, half the measure of inscripted angle half the measure of central angle subtended by the same arc. Next question, number 8. A cycle quadral, which two opposite angles equal are what? Which opposite angles we call the supplementary angles. Do you know? We solve it last question like this. Do you remember? If we have cycle quadral here, all vertices lie on the circle, then the sum of two angles, each two opposite angles here, sum of them equal 180. So each two opposite angles, we call it supplementary angles. Choose supplementary angles, letter C. Cycle quadral, each two opposite angles are supplementary. It's meaning some two angles equal 180 degree. Next question here, number 9. Tangent of circle of diameter 10 centimeter is distance of space centimeter from its center. Asked about the tangent like this. We have tangent of circle, this tangent, and we have the center. He asked about the distance between tangent and the center of the circle. This distance because the tangent perpendicular to the radius. So he asked about the distance. He asked about the distance between center of circle and the tangent. A tangent of circle of a diameter 10 centimeter and the radius will be 5 centimeter. Then its distance of 5 centimeter from its centimeter, okay, from its center. The result will be letter 5. Again, we have tangent of circle and diameter was 10 centimeters and the radius will be 5 centimeters. So the distance will be 5 centimeter from the center and the tangent, because tangent perpendicular to the radius of circle. The length will be 5 centimeter here. Choose letter B. Next question, the number of circles that pass through three non-collinear points. Like this. I solved this example from 1 minute. We have one circle passing through 3 points non-collinear. Okay, then the answer here will be letter A. Next question, we have circle here, and B is the midpoint of AB and also is the midpoint of AC. Then MD perpendicular to AB and MA perpendicular to AC. Then the measure of angle D equivalent to measure of angle C. They are 90 degree. Okay, 90 degree or 90 degrees. Then we have ADMA will be cycle quadral. He asked about the measure of angle MA. It will be 120 degree, because measure of angle M plus measure of angle A will be 180. 180 subtracted by 60 equal 120. We call this supplementary angles. You know, because we prove that now AEHD is cycle quadral. Or you can find the measure of angle A plus measure of angle D plus measure of angle A and the result subtracted from 360, because we have 4 angles. Sum of 4 angles here equals 360 because we have quadral. The sum of interior angle of any quadral equals 360. So the measure of angle M will be 120 degree. Choose letter A here. Next question. MC perpendicular to AP and MC was 3 cm, MA 5 cm. I won't find the length of AB. First step, we know MC straight line passing through the center of the circle and perpendicular to the chord. Then C is the midpoint of AB. And also we can find CA from Pythagoras theorem. We have CA power 2 equivalent to MA power 2 subtract by MC power 2. We can find the difference. We have 25 subtract by 9 equals 16. And CA equals square root of 16 equal 4 centimeter. Then we have right angle triangle. We have 3 and 5 and 4, but he asked about the length of AB. AB will be twice of AC. 2 times 4 equal 8 centimeters. Then the answer will be 8 centimeters. Choose letter C here. Next question, the opposite figure here. We have measure of angle BAD equals 60 degree here. BAD 60 degree, and he will find measure of angle BCE. We have exterior angle, you know, exterior angle, the measure of exterior angle equivalent to the measure of interior angle, which opposite to adjacent side of angles. The measure of angle BCE equivalent to 60 because we have ABCD, we call it cycle quadral. Then the exterior angle BCE, the measure of it equivalent to the interior angle A, which opposite adjacent of the side. The measure of angle BCE equivalent to A equals 60 degree. Choose letter B here. Next question, number 14. Circle M intersection circle M at point A and B. In two circles M and N R, we have intersection between two circles and 2 points. Then they are intersecting because they are intersecting at 2 points A and B. Okay, we called it intersecting. It shows letter D, intersecting. Next question here. If M is a circle of diameter 7 centimeter here and A is a point on its plane, A equal 4 centimeters in its position of A with respect this circle is. He asked about the position about point A. He gave me this information here in the example. The diameter will be 7 centimeters, so the distance between the center of the circle and any point will be 3.5. It will be the radius. He told me the length from A to A will be 4 centimeters. Look, 4 centimeters greater than the radius. Then it will be outside the circle because the distance between M and A greater than the radius. Then the position about the point here, the point A will be outside. The position of A with respect to the circle will be outside the circle. I'll choose letter B here. Question: the measure of the arc is that opposite the scripted angle of 60 degrees. We have the measure of arc, or we have a scripted angle like this. It's scripted angle, and he tell me in a scripted angle he won't find the measure of scripted angle that is opposite the inscripted angle of 60. No, he asked about the measure of the arc. Yes, what is the measure of arc? That inscripted angle of 60 degree. He asked about the measure of the arc here, that opposite inscripted angle of 60 degrees. The measure of scripted angle was 60. In the measure of the arc, it will be twice the measure of scripted angle, equal 120 degree, twice 60, okay? Then the answer will be letter C, 120 degree. Okay, next question here, we have circle and center angle. We have here measure of angle BMA equal 52 degree. Also, he won't find the measure of arc ADB. Okay, we know the measure of small arc here BA equivalent to what? Equivalent to 52, because the measure of arc BA equivalent to the opposite angle will be 52 degree. Then the measure of arc BDA equivalent to 360 subtract by 52, because the measure of circle equals 360. He give me the part of arc, this part, and the remainder of this arc 360 subtracted by 52, because the measure of arc BA equal 52. So the remainder here, measure of arc here BDA equivalent to 360 subtracted by 52. 10 minus 2 equivalent to 8, and 5 minus 5 0, and right here 3. Then the result will be 308 degree. Yes, 308 degree. Choose letter D. Okay, next question here. Number 18. The number of circles that can be drawn to pass through the end points of the line segment AB. We have infinity. If we have line segment like this, we have like circle here or like circle like this. The center of all circles like in a straight line which passes through the midpoint of line segment like AP, and the midpoint here and also perpendicular. It's meaning the centers of all circles which passes through 2 points A and B lies on the centers, lies on axis of symmetry of this line segment. So we have an infinity number. Okay, an infinity number of circles can pass through the ending about line segment A and B. We have infinity of circles passing through 2 points. Okay, choose letter D. Next question. The number of tangents that can be drawn from a point lying on a circle equal. He asked about the number of tangents can be drawn from a point or line on a circle like this. If we have 1 point, we have 1 tangent only can pass through about this. We have 1 tangent only. Okay, 1 tangent. Choose letter E. Again, understood? We have circle like this. If we draw circles and put the point like here, I can draw 1 axis of symmetry, 1 tangent of this point, 1 tangent. Okay, choose letter E. Next question. If the measure of arc, listen to me, he won't find what? He won't find measure of arc EC here. Arc, I won't find the measure. But he give me the measure of inscripted angle CBA 40 degree. And the measure of arc CA will be 80 degree. It's twice 40. Okay, we have here, look at with me here, this part 40 degrees, the measure of the scripted angles. In the measure of arc opposite it will be 80 degree, and the remainder we can write 180 subtract by 80 equal 100 degrees. In the measure of arc here it will be 100 degree. Okay, understood? Because the scripted angle half of arc which opposite it. Okay, 40 opposite or drawing at this arc CA, then the measure of arc CA twice 40 equal 80 degree. When we have half of circle, the measure of half of circle 180 divided by 80 equal 100 degree. Choose letter D. Next question. The angle of tangency is included between what? He asked about the angle of tangents included between chord and tangent. We have here chord and tangent like this. We call this angle what? We call this angle tangency. Tangency angle included between what? Chord and tangent. Choose letter C. Okay, the angle of tangency is included between a chord and tangent. Chord and tangent. Chord and tangent. Okay. Next question. M is a circle of its diameter length 14 cm and MA equal to x plus 3, where A is the point on the circle and x equal. What's the meaning of this? Its meaning MA will be the radius because A lies on the circle. The MA equivalent to the radius. Do you know radius equal what? Equal 7 cm because he gave you in the example the diameter here was 14 cm. Half of 14 equals 7 cm. Then MA will be 2x plus 3 equivalent to 7. So 2x will be 7 minus 3 is 4. Then we can find the value of x by divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 equal 2. Then the value of x here equal to, choose letter C. Next question. The center of inscribed circle of any triangle. Its point of intersecting what? Yes, he asked about the center of the inscribed circle of any triangle. Inscribed circle like this. Yes, the center of this circle will be what? Axis of 8 sides. Axis of 8 sides. So we can draw circle passing through 3 vertices of circle, and the center of this circle, it will be like intersection of 3 axes of symmetry. 3 axes of symmetry. Choose letter D. Then the center of an inscribed circle of a triangle is the point of intersecting of what? Axis of 8 sides. Axis of 8 sides. Understood? Understood this? If we have any triangle like this, I want to draw a circle which passes through 3 points. What will we do? I will draw here first axis of symmetry, and second axis of symmetry, and third axis of symmetry. They are intersection in one point. This point will be the center of the circle. The center of the circle of in the inscribed circle of any triangle, it will be outside. Then the result will be letter D, axis of 8 sides. Choose letter D. Next question, number 24. In a cyclic quadrilateral, each two opposite angles are what? Who can tell me? I tell you this example. We know cyclic quadrilateral. Cyclic quadrilateral, its meaning figure has 4 sides which all vertices lies on the circle like this. So the measure of each two opposite angle here equal 180. Summation of them equal 180. Then we called here supplementary angles. Supplementary angles shows letter B. Next question. The number axis of symmetry for two intersecting and congruent circle. He asked about circle congruent and also intersecting like this. Oh, how many axes of symmetry here? We have one axis of symmetry and the second. So we have two axes of symmetry because two circle congruent. Yes, congruent and intersecting. Then we have two axes of symmetry. We can divide it by two axes of symmetry. Okay, then choose letter B. Answer here letter B. Example question 26. Look at with me about first question here. This circle we have A B C D is cyclic quadrilateral. Measure of angle BAD, he won't find the measure of angle BAD. Measure of angle BAD here, it will be half of 100 because inscribed angle and center angle drawing is the same arc. Then the measure of angle A will be 50 degrees. So you must choose here letter C. Okay, measure of angle BAD 50 degree. Next question down. Number 2, what is the measure of angle BCD? BCD, yes, BCD, it will be supplemented angle A. Angle A was 50 degree. Yes, angle A was 50. Yes, remember with me? Do you remember? We have cyclic quadrilateral here. Measure of angle here A was 50. Then measure of angle C will be 130 degree because E and C supplement this angle ABCD. Okay, the measure of angle C will be 130 degree. Choose 130 because A plus C equal 180. We call this supplementary angles. Next question. Number 3. Asked about the measure of angle EAB. Look at here, EAB. We won't find the tangent angle here. Oh, EAB, half of what? Half of measure of arc EP. He give me parallel. Look at here, they are parallel. The measure of angle EAB equivalent to measure of angle ABD. So, you know also EP parallel to DB, then the measure of arc EB equivalent to measure of angle AD. Arcs are equal, then EB equal AD, then we have isosceles triangle here. Do you know? We have isosceles triangle, then the measure of angle B will be 180 subtracted by 50 divided by 2. Look at here, again, I will explain, okay? Look at here. They are equivalent here, or they are parallel like this. Then this angle, I want to find the measure of angle EAB. You know this arc equivalent to this arc, then the side length equivalent to the side length also, because we have two arcs equivalent in the lenses. Then the two chords are equivalent. Then we have isosceles triangle ABD isosceles triangle. I found now measure of angle A was 50 degrees. Then I can find measure of angle B and D because we have isosceles triangle. The measure of two angles in the basis will be 180 subtracted by 50 divided by 2 is 65. Then the measure of angle here it will be 65 degree. Then measure of angle AEB will be also 65 degree equivalent to measure of angle B because we have alternating angles. We called it alternating angles. Or measure of angle here 65D will be equal measure of angle B because measure of angle D and A are equivalent. We have tangent angles and scripted angle drawing in the same arc. Okay, so we have two conditions here to find the answer here. Choose letter D, 65 degree. Number 27. Number of common tangents of two concentric circle equal. He asked about the number of common tangents of two concentric circle. Do you know concentric circle? Yes, drawing in the same like this. We called it concentric circle. They have the same center. Can you draw tangent? Can you draw common tangents between two circles? No, I can't. So 0. We haven't here common tangents of two concentric circles. Concentric circles, it's meaning two circles drawing in the same center. Okay, understood? Now I will solve the question 28. Okay, so the answer here will be 0. Okay, next question. ABCD cyclic quadrant, measure of angle A twice measure of angle C. The measure of angle A equal what? We know measure of angle A and measure of angle C summation between together equal 180. We call this supplementary angles like this. We have circle here and we have cyclic quadrant like this. We have ABCD. ABCD cyclic quadrant, measure of angle A twice measure of angle C. Then measure of angle A will be 120 and angle C 60 degree. Then measure of angle A will be 120 degree. Okay, choose letter A, letter C. Sorry, letter C. Okay. Next question. The inscribed angle subtended minor arc in a circle is space angle. He asked about scripted angle subtended minor arc. Put here minor arc, the small arc in the circle. The small arc, it will be acute. Okay, like this. We have here diameter and the small arc like this small arc. Then we have, if we draw this angle we call the scripted drawing in the small arc in the circle minor arc, it will be acute. Choose letter D. But if inscripted angle drawing at half of circle, it will be the measure of it 90 degree, it will be right. And if the inscripted angle drawing the large arc or major arc, it will be like this, drawing like this about the major arc like this, it will be obtuse angle. Okay, so this question asked about the scripted angle subtended minor arc in a circle, we called it acute. Choose letter D. Okay, acute angle. Next question. ABCD cycle quadrilateral and measure of angle A plus twice measure of angle C equal to 160. The measure of angle C equal. We know cycle quadrilateral, it's meaning the measure of each two opposite angle equal 180. We have ABCD. He give me here angle A and twice angle C equal to 160. You know A plus C equal 180, and he give me this information in the example. He tell you in the example measure of angle A plus twice angle C equal to 160. Who can tell this example about solve? We have A plus C equal 180 and A plus 2C equivalent to 260 also. Can you tell me the answer? Yes, you can write here A equal 180 minus C. You can put the value of A here. A here refers to measure of angle A and C refers to measure of angle C. You can put A here equal 180 minus C. Look at here. I will cancel A and write 180 minus C plus 2C equivalent to 260. Then 180, 2C minus C equals C equivalent to 260. Then the measure of angle C equal 260 subtract by 180, it will be 80 degree. Not 80. Okay, find the difference here. Okay, it will be 80 degree. 16 minus 8 equal is okay 80 degree. He asked the measure of angle C, it will be 80 degree. Okay, measure of angle C 80 degree, choose letter C here. Letter C. Next question. Look at here, we have circle like this. You won't find measure of angle BAC in scripted angle and M central angles. In the measure of inscripted angle BAC, half of central angle will be 65 degree. Choose letter B. Okay, choose letter B. Next question. The opposite figure here give me measure of arc 40 degree, measure of angle BD 40 degree, and measure of angle CA 160 degree. He won't find measure of angle A. We can find here measure of angle A equivalent to half the difference between two arcs, the greatest and the smallest. We can find the difference between measure of angle CE 160 and measure of angle BD was 40. Then the result will be half product by 160 subtract by 40 equal 120. Then the result will be 60 degree. Okay, the answer here will be 60 degree. Next question. In the opposite figure here, he tell me we have three parts equivalent. Measure of arc, length of arc AB equivalent, measure of arc BC equivalent to measure of arc CE, then measure of angle B. Okay, measure of angle B, it will be half of measure of arc AC. We know measure of arc AC here, it will be 360 divided by 3, it will be 120. We can divide it 360 by 3 parts, each part of it, measure of it equal 120. Then the measure of angle B, half of 120 equals 60 degrees. Then the measure of scripted angle here, half the measure of the opposite arc, it will be 60 degree. Next question, number 33. If the two circles M and N are touching externally like this, touching externally, the radius length of one of them 3 centimeter, okay, and the other 7 centimeter. Then the radius length of the other, no, he give you the example, the distance between M and N was 7 centimeter. Then the length of the second radii here about circle N, it will be 4 centimeter, because 3 plus 4 equals 7. Then the answer will be 4. Okay, understood? 3 plus 4 equals 7. Then the radius here will be 4 centimeter. It shows letter P. Next question. The circle M, measure of angle BCD 130 degree. Do you remember this question? I solved it from 1 minute. He give you the example here, measure of angle C 130. He won't find the measure angle BMD. How we can find it? We know BMD is the center angle. Then first step, we can find the inscripted angle here, which up measure of angle A, we can find it like this. We have here C, B, and D. And this angle 130 degrees, and the opposite angle will be 50. They are supplementary angles. A and C supplements angle. So I can find now the measure of center angle here. It will be twice 50. It will be what? It will be 100 degrees. Then measure of angle M, it will be 100 degree. Okay, the measure of it equal 100 degree. Choose letter D here. Next question number 35. The straight line L intersection circle M equal phi. It's meaning straight line L here outside and circle M here like this. Intersection between together equal null state phi. Then the straight line L, it will be outside. Okay, outside the circle, because intersection it will be null set. It will be outside. Choose letter A. Okay. Next question here, in the opposite figure here, he won't find measure of angle ABC. Okay, this angle we call the tangent angle, and inscribed angle 70. Then they are equivalent. Inscribed angle and tangent angle, they are equivalent if they are drawing in the same arc. Then the measure of angle ABC, it will be 70 degree also. Choose letter C. Next question down here, number 37. Look at here, number 37. Okay, again 37. The straight line L is distance x from the circle center M, and the radius length is R and x. And x point to 0 and R. When intervals in L where in, listen to me, we have straight line L, the distance is at a distance x from circle. I don't know where the position of straight line. He asked you here, this distance will be x from a circle to the center M. Okay, and the radius was R, this radius R. Okay, and x is pointing to open interval from 0 to R. Do you know this? It's meaning x may be here or here or here, so the straight line will be secant of the circle. It will be secant. Yes, secant. Here's why secant, because the distance between straight line and center, it will be x, and x pointing to the open interval, it's meaning x lies between 0 and the length of the radius. If I put the length of the radius like 7 centimeter, put here 7 to understood. I will put the radius here 7, and x pointing to 0 and 7 open. It's meaning what? Meaning the distance between secant and center in number lies between 0 and 7. Okay, understood now? So x pointing to the open interval from 0 to R, it's meaning the distance between the line segment or straight line and center, it will be less than the radius. Less than the radius, it will be secant. Okay, secant, the circle, yes, secant. Understood? Okay. Choose where intersect is the circle, touch the circle, outside, no. Boxes through the center, no. Choose letter D. Letter D, it's meaning secant. Secant of the circle, it's meaning intersect is the circle. The straight line intersect is the circle. Choose letter D, okay? Next question here. AC and BD are two intersecting chords in the circle. Here, the intersection 1 point. He gives me measure of angle A was 35 degree. Measure of angle AED 115 degree. We won't find the measure of arc AD. Where AD here? Yes, AD here. Okay, you can solve the example by easy method. You know, we have two straight line intersection. Do you remember intersection in a circle? The intersection, we have angle 115 degree and the inscribed angle here 35. You can write the measure of opposite arc, it will be 70 degree. Yes, 35 times 2 is 70 degree. You can find now the measure of arc AD by easy method. How? We know 115, the measure of angles, which in half of the sum of two opposite arcs, this arc and this arc. Half product by measure of arc DA plus 70, then 2 times 115, 230, then measure of arc DA plus 70 equivalent to 130. You can move here to find the difference. Write 0 and 13 minus 7 equals 6, and write 1. The result will be 160. Choose letter D. Okay. Good. Next question. In the opposite figure here, we have EP diameter of circle. They are parallel. He give you measure of arc AD was 40 degree. Then measure of arc DC, it will be equivalent also measure of arc BC equivalent also 40 degree. The remainder about half of circle. We know half of circle equal 180. This arc equivalent to this arc, we have 40 and 40. 40 plus 40, 80. Subtract from 180 equal 100 degrees. Then the measure of this arc will be 100 degree. Okay, 100 degree. The measure of arc CD, it will be 100 degree. Choose letter B. Next question here. The opposite figure, he give me the example measure of angle AB, angle 50. So this angle 50 also, because we have here in this triangle isosceles triangle, because two radii they are equivalent. Two radii here equivalent. This 50 and this also 50, this equivalent. Then MA equal MB, we can find the measure of vertex angle will be 80 degree. 50 plus 50 subtracted from 180 equal 80. Now he won't find the measure of angle C, inscripted angle. Inscripted angle here to be half of 80, it will be 40 degree. Okay, 40 half of 80. Since the answer solution here, choose letter E. Okay, next question down here, number 41. The number of axes of symmetry of a circle. Who can tell me? We have infinity. Yes, infinity. Yes, we have circle. We have infinity axis of symmetry passing through the center of the circle. Next question here. We have circle like this. AP and AC, two tangents of circle. Do you know two tangents? They are equivalent AC and AB. The measure of angle C equivalent to measure of angle B. Each one of them equal 180 subtracted by 50 divided by 2 equal be 65. Or okay, yes. Now he won't find measure of angle MBC. MBC here, it will be 90 subtract by 65, because MB perpendicular to AB, no, tangent perpendicular to the radius. And then I will draw here to understood. Okay, we have two tangents like this, and we have circle here, it's perpendicular, and this also perpendicular, and we draw here the chord CP. Okay, he won't find measure of angle MBC here. We have here 90 degree, and this angle was 50 degree. We have two tangents equivalent in the lenses. Then 180 subtract by 50 divided by 2 is 65. This angle will be 65. I won't find the remainder, right? 90 subtract by 65. 10 minus 5 is 5, and 8 minus 6 equal 2. The result will be 25 degree. Okay. Yes, 25. It shows letter A. Next question. The opposite figure here, he won't find measure of angle APD. Look at here, APD. If you use the example, measure of arc AXP was 100. Yes, he asked about the tangent. 50 degree, you know, because the measure of tangent half of the arc which included between the chord and the tangent, like this. We have here the measure of this arc was 100. AXB 100. 100 divided by 2 is 50 degree. Okay, the measure of tangent half of the measure of arc which included between chord and the tangent. So the measure of tangent angle half of the measure of the opposite arc. Opposite arc here 100. 100 divided by 2 is 50. Choose letter E. Next question here. Is a circle and AB equal CD and MX equal MY, because MY perpendicular to AB and MY perpendicular to CD, and he give you the example two chords are equivalent, since the two distances are equivalent, and MX and MY they are equivalent. It shows letter D here, they are equivalent, MX equal MY. Next question down here. The point A point to the circle of diameter length 8 centimeters, then AMA will be equal. Okay, we have here A bowling to the circle. A bowling to circles meaning lies on the curve of the circle, and he give you in the example the diameter was 8 centimeters and the radius will be 4 centimeters. In the radius A will be 4 centimeters. It shows here letter B. Okay, next question. The described angle which opposite the measure or arc in the circle will be obvious. We studied before manner of arc and now measure of arc. Measure of arc, it will be greater than what? Greater than this arc, like this arc here, half of circle, and this arc we called it major arc. Like this arc, I will draw this arc, this angle drawing in the major arc, because we have here the hair diameter and this inscripted angle drawing on what in the major arc. It will be obtuse. Measure of this angle will be obtuse. It shows letter C. But if the inscripted angle drawing in the minor arc, it will be obtuse. And if the inscripted angle drawing in drawing on the diameter of circle, it will be 90 degree. Okay, half of circle. Then the answer here will be an obtuse angle. It shows letter C. Next question. Question 47. The opposite figure in center of circle EB perpendicular to CD, and he was asked about measure of arc EC, measure of arc AC plus measure of angle of arc BD. We know the opposite angle like this, it will be X. We will write this angle X. Okay, we have two chords perpendicular. Then the measure of this angle X. Okay, we know measure of angle X equivalent half the sum of two opposite arcs, the first and second, CA and BD. We can add together. He give you the example here. We asked about EC and BD. A measure of angle X was 90. Okay, this angle was 90. Then 90 equal half the sum of two arcs. Then the sum of two arcs will be 180. Then measure of arc EC plus measure of arc BD equivalent to 180. Understood? This arc and this arc, the summation between together equal 180, because 180 divided by 2 equal 90. Then the result will be 180. Choose letter C. He asked about the sum of two arcs, arc CA and arc BD. Summation between together equal 180. Why? Because the opposite angle here together equal 90. 90 equal half sum of two arcs. Sum of two arcs here equal 180. 180 divided by 2 equal 90. Then the result will be 180. Next question. Two intersecting circles, the length of their radii 3 cm and 5 cm. In boring to the difference between two arcs and the sum between two arcs. We can find the difference between 5 and 3 equal 2 and summation equal 8, because they are intersecting lines. In the distance between two radii, okay, the distance MN by center 1, center 2, boring to the difference between two radii and the sum of two radii. Okay, the result will be 2 and 8. Opened. Choose letter D. Next question, we have here triangle like this, isosceles, two sides are equal. Then he asked about x with what? It's easy question. You can write x plus 2 equal to 2x plus or minus 1. You can subtract here 2x minus x equal x, and 2 plus 1 equal 3. The value of x will be equal 3. Next question, number 51. Which of the following points does it point to a circle that its center is the original point and its radius 7? He asked about the distance between the center and any point. We know the center distance between center and any point will be 7. He asked about which is following not pointing to. Look at here, not pointing to, it will be 7 and 7, not pointing to. If we draw original point like this, the first point it will be 0 and 7 and 0, and here 0 and 7, and we have here negative 7 and 0, and this point will be 0 and negative 7. So you must choose 7 7, not pointing to the center of circle, not pointing to the curve of circle. Then the answer here letter D. Okay, the point 7 and 7 doesn't point to the circles that its center is the original point and radius 7 centimeter. Choose letter D. Next question. The ratio between the measure of two inscripted angle and the measure of center angle satisfies the same arc, it will be 1 and 2. He asked about the ratio between inscripted angle and center angle, which is they are inscripted and the same arc. They are scripted. We have scripted angle here and center angle like this 100, it will be 50 in the relation 1 to 2. He asked about the ratio between the measure of scripted angle and the measure of center angle subtended by the same arc. Subtended. Okay, then the result will be 1 to 2. Choose letter B. Next question. Look at her example here. We have ABCD is quadral, and he asked about ABCD as ABCD is what? Look at here. We can find the measure of angle A will be 120. Then we have cycle quadral. This shape we call this cycle quadral because measure of angle ACD equivalent to measure of angle A. We can find the measure of angle here. Okay. We can find measure of angle A. How? We have isosceles triangle, the measure of two angles 30 and 30 60, subtract 480 equal 120. This angle 120. Okay, then the opposite angle is the same. This angle also 120. Okay, the exterior angle equivalent to the interior angle which opposite adjacent angles of 120. Then we call this cycle quadral. The result here will be letter C. We call this cycle quadral. Next question is a projection of line segment of straight line is a point. This meaning the line segment perpendicular. Okay, it will be perpendicular. Choose letter B because the projection like this pen, projection of this pen to this line, it's a point. It's meaning perpendicular. It's meaning what? This marker perpendicular to the ruler. Okay, so it will be perpendicular because the projection was point. Next question 55. The length of the arc which represent force of the perimeter of circle. We have force of perimeter. You know perimeter of circle 2 by r. Then 2 times force equal to 1 over 2 divided by r. Then the result will be half by r. Choose letter C. Next question here down. ABCD cycle quadral here. Look at here. We have cycle quadral. It's meaning the measure of angle B and measure of angle D equal 180. He asked measure of angle E. Again, we have ABCD cycle quadral, and he give you in the example this angle was 65, and this angle also will be 65. He asked about EPOA. Okay, we have the angle here will be 65 because he give you the example ABCD cycle quadral. Oh, first question, second question. We have two questions here. Okay, first question, it's easy. If you can find measure of angle B, 180 subtract by 65 equal 115. Then the answer here will be 115 because measure of angle B plus measure of angle D equal 180. And the next question down here, he asked about question easy also. He will ask about angle AOD. It will be 65 because we have isosceles triangle, so the result will be 65 here. Choose letter A because we have isosceles triangle, the measure of two angles, the bases are equivalent. Next question down here, we have circle also here, and he won't find the measure of arc AC. Okay, first step, I can find the measure of arc here. BD will be 40 degree. We have two chords intersection outside of the circle. Then the intersection between two chords here will be 35 equivalent to half the difference between two opposite arcs. 35 here, and this 20 in the arc here will be 40, and this arc AC I won't find it. Then we can find measure of arc AC subtract by the measure of arc here 40. We can cancel half by product. 2 times 35 is 70, then 70 equivalent to measure of arc AC subtract by 40 degrees, and measure of arc AC will be 110. This 110 subtract by 40 is 70. 70 divided by 2 equals 35. Then the result will be 110. Then the measure of arc AC 110. Next question here, we have two concentric. We have two questions. Okay, we have concentric circle. Give you in the example measure of arc BC was 80 degree and the radius was 7 centimeter. The radius length of the larger was 14 and the smaller 7. Then 7 minus 7 equals 7. Asked about the perimeter of the smaller circle. We can find the perimeter of smaller circle by the rule. The perimeter Next question, perimeter of smaller circle equal 2 by r. Right, 2 product by 22 over 7 product by the radius. Radius of small circle was 7. 7 divided by 7, 1. 1 times 2, 2. 2 times 22 is 44 centimeter. And question number 2, he won't find the measure of arc AD. Okay, he asked about measure of arc AD. It will be the same of arc CB. It will be 80 degree because measure of arc BC was 80. The measure of angle M will be 80 also. It's center angle. Measure of angle M equivalent to measure of arc CD equal 80 degree. Then measure of arc DA equivalent to measure of angle C. The center angle, it will be 80 degree. Result will be 80 degree. Choose letter A. Next question, here we have cycle quadrant. Here he won't find the value of x. Cycle quadrant meaning is a measure of two opposite angles equal 180. We call this supplementary angles. Then x plus 15, 8 to 115 is 180. X plus 115 plus 15, it will be 130. 130 equal 180. Then the value of x, we can find the difference between two numbers. Then the value of x here equal 50 degree. Okay, next question. One of the following statement, identify one and only one circle. If we have, you can know, identify one and only one circle. If we have radius and one its points, two its points, only one of its points, center and one of its points. We can choose here letter D. One of the following statement, identify one and only one circle. One circle. If we have center of circle and one of its points, like this. Choose letter D. Next question. We won't find measure of angle ACD. ACD, this angle. Okay. We have here cycle quadral, so you can find measure of angle D will be 180. Okay, we have cycle quadral here like this. This angle 100 degrees and the measure of this angle will be 180. We have isosceles triangle, then the measure of angle DC A or ACD equal 180, subtract by 100 divided by 2, the result will be 40 degree. ACD will be 40 degree. Choose letter C. Next question. Look at this question here, he won't find. We have ABCD trapezium like this. He won't find the area of shaded region part. He won't find the area of shaded part. First step, we can find the area of trapezium and area of half circle and then find the difference. Then I will find area 1, area of half circle. It will be half by r power 2. Half product by was 22 over 7. Product by radius power 2. The radius will be 7. 7 power 2. Then you can sample as half of 22, 11, and 7 times 7 divided 7 equals 7. Then the result will be 77 square centimeter. It's area 1. And area 2, we can find area 2 of trapezium. Half the sum of two bases, right? 28 and 14 product by height 7. Then we have half times 4 plus 8, 12, 2 and carry up 1, 2 plus 2, 4, product by height 7. And then find the difference between two areas. Half of 42 is 21. 21 times 7. 1 times 7 is 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Then the area of shaded part. We can find the difference between two areas. Area 1 and area 2. 147 subtract by 77. Equaling to 14 minus 7 equals 7. The result will be 70 square centimeter. Choose letter A. Okay. Next question. We have circle here. He won't find measure of angle ABC. We have right angle triangle here. Then measure of angle ABC will be 45 degree because we have an scripted angle drawing half of circle. Then the measure here will be 90 and we have 45. They are equivalent. 45 also. The result will be letter B. Choose letter B. Next question, we have 30, 60 triangle. He won't find the length of EC. Remember this right angle triangle? Here we have 30, it will be 1 and 2, and we have root 3. In the length of EC, it will be 2 centimeter. Choose letter A, 2 centimeter. Next question, number 65. The side length of rhombus L, then its perimeter will be 4L, because rhombus has 4 sides are equal L lengths. The perimeter will be 4 times the side length, 4L. Choose letter C. He asked about the perimeter. Let's see. Next question, it is possible. Next question, 66. It is possible to draw a circle passing through the vertices of what? Of square. Okay, we can draw a circle passing through square or rectangle or isosceles trapezium. Then you must choose letter B. Next question. In two similar polygons, their corresponding angles are equal in measure. In two similar polygons, their corresponding angles equal in measure, like this. This is similar about this. They are similar. Then each corresponding angles are equal in measure. Okay, choose equal in measure. Choose letter D. Next question. The number of sides of regular polygon in which measure of one of its interior angle 135 equal. He won't find the number of sides. You can write 360 over 180 subtract by 135. We won't find the number of sides, and he give you the measure of interior angles because we have polygon, regular polygon. Regular polygon is meaning all sides are equal in lengths and all angles are equal in measure. Then we have 360 over the difference between, it will be 45, the result will be 8. Then we have 8 sides. Choose letter C. Okay, next question. If two chords intersect at a point inside the circles, then the measure of the included angles will be half the sum of the opposite arcs. Like this. We have two chords intersection here, then the measure of this angle will be half the sum of two arcs. Choose letter B, half of the sum. Next question here, we have center the circle like this. He won't find measure of angle ACB. ACB here, drawing at the major arc AB. We can find the measure of this arc first. Okay, complete with me. He won't find the length of BC. This part 3, then 3 here. 8, he give me the length here was 8 centimeter. 8 minus 3 equal 5. Then we have here 5 centimeter. 5 and this also 5. We have two tangent equivalent, 5 and 5. And this part 2, this 2 also. Then 5 plus 2 equal 7 centimeter. And the length of CB will be 7 centimeter. Okay. Look at here this question. He won't find measure of angle E. Angle E is the result here. How's the difference between opposite arcs? Arcs here 60 and 40. Half of 20 equal 10 degree. Next question. You won't find the measure of angle CMB. This angle will be what? We have 50 of degree and here 40%. 40% the measure of this angle. We can write 40 over 100 product by 360 cancel 0 and 0. 4 times 6 24. Write 4 and carry up 2. But this 40 of 180. Okay, this 50%, 180, and here 40%, and here will be 10%. Okay, he won't find measure of angle CMB. CMB. Okay, he give you in the example 50 degrees, meaning 180, and 180 divided to 50, 10 ratio 1 to 4. Then the summation will be 180 divided by 5 equals 36. We have 36 and 4 times 6 24. Understood? Summation between 1 and 4 is 5, and write 180 because the ratio here we have 40% to 10%. The ratio 4 to 1. 4 to 1. Summation between together 5. 180 divided by 5 is 36. Okay. And 4 times 6 24, right? 4 and carry up 2. 3 times 4 12 plus 2 40, 144. In the measure here 144 degree and here 36 degree. He asked about CMB. It will be 36 degree. Choose letter A. Choose letter A. Next question down, 74. You won't find the relation between AP and YCA. Look at here, we have circle and chord. Draw this part. He tell me this relation here. C is the midpoint. It's meaning two parts equivalent. Then CA equivalent to CB. They are equivalent. If you draw it like this, two parts equivalent, then the measure of two angles here equivalent. He asked about EP and twice EC. He asked about AB and twice EC. Okay. AB and twice EC. What's the relation between two sides? They are equivalent. He asked about the relation between twice AC. Again, AB. He won't find the relation between AB and twice EC. They are equivalent. What about twice EC? Twice EC equal BC. Twice AC. Twice EC, this side segment equal line segment. Then twice EC, we can write BC. Then we have AB and BC. Okay, twice AC. What's the meaning twice EC? It's meaning CA plus CB. Okay, this inequality of any triangle, sum of any two sides greater by the third. Okay, in any triangle, the sum of any two sides greater than the third. Then 2AC equivalent to CA plus CB because they are equivalent. Then AB less than twice EC because it's inequality in any triangle. Do you know this inequality? The sum of any two sides greater than the third. Last question, 75. The number of symmetric axes of square. We have 4 axes of symmetry of square. Square has 4 axes of symmetry. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 4 axes of symmetry. Choose the 30. Last question. Okay.